Here we're going to take a look at some different count functions in Google Sheets. I have a set of data here with a variety of roller coasters. And at the bottom, I have a couple different count functions. So if you start typing equals count into Google Sheets, it will give you a whole bunch of suggestions. Now, the regular count function equals count will count the number of numerical values in the selected data. So if I look here, equals count, parenthesis, highlight the top speed column, it will count how many numerical values are in that column. However, if I try to use equals count on the type column, I get 0 because none of those values are numerical. They're all words. So if we need to count data that are not numerical, we can use the count A function. Equals count A. And if I try this on the type column, it'll give me a value. This will also work for numerical values, because the count A function counts the number of non-blank cells. If for some reason you want to count the number of blank cells, you can use equals count blank. You can see here that in the top speed column, we have quite a few blanks, so we can count there are 11 blanks there. Count unique will give us the number of unique values in the selected data. So if we type equals count unique, I'm going to highlight the states. How many states are represented in this data set? 32. There are 32 different values there for the states. The issue with this function is if there's a typo or if things are slightly different, it will count them as different unique values. Now, COUNTIF and COUNTIFs are helpful if you're trying to use a certain criteria to count whatever you're counting. So if I type equals COUNTIF, first I need to highlight the data. I'm going to use top speed for this one. Then I need to give it a criteria. So I can say count how many roller coasters have a top speed greater than 50. And it'll say 99 of them do. Okay, I can change this number. 56 have a top speed of greater than 60. Now, one thing that you will notice is that you have to put the double quotes around any inequality that you are using. If you need greater than or equal to, you just type the greater than symbol and then the equal to symbol right after each other. Same works for less than or equal to. If you were looking at something that did not have numerical data, so if we look at type, you can type equals COUNTIF, highlight your data, comma, double quotes, and then whatever string you need as well. It will work with numerical data if you need it to equal a specific value. If I go back to top speed, highlight the data, I can just type 60 and it'll count there are 12 roller coasters with a top speed of 60. Now, count ifs lets you use multiple criteria. So if I do equals count ifs, I can say, okay, how many roller coasters have, let's say, a top speed that is greater than or equal to 50 and a max height greater, no, let's do less than or equal to 100. So you are basically repeating count if multiple times. And you can keep going. You can have more than 2 criteria, but it'll count. Okay, there are 30 roller coasters that have a top speed of at least 50 miles an hour and a maximum height of at most 100 feet. Again, you can keep going if you would like to look at other criteria. You can have more than 2 criteria.